Jeffrey's procrastinating once again. He's got his computer on and he's trying to make money online, but Jeffrey, why would you switch over your tabs and start watching that? Adonis outworks everyone. Push-ups, pull-ups, squats and sprints, business and reading. Adonis does it all and leaves any man who wants to compete with him in the dust. This is what makes Adonis feel so good about being a man. And then there's you. Let me tell you my story. It's early 2022 and I've just finished a kickboxing session. Actually, I've just done 2 sessions back to back. It's Friday night, I'm cycling back home, and I've noticed that as I'm cycling home, there's a lot of people at the bars in this town center where I live. And so everyone's like enjoying themselves, drinking, partying. And I feel like an asshole, but I can't lie to myself. I feel like this is just sad. Like looking around at these people here, they're sloppy drunk, falling over, drinking, dropping their bottles, talking like loudly, making random noises outside of the bar. I know that this isn't just me judging them from the outside. Like I've been like that myself. I've been the drinker, I've been the partier, and I know that there isn't actually a lot of fulfillment in that kind of lifestyle. And so I see the hidden sadness behind the masks that everyone's wearing, where they're all happy right now, but they're going to be hungover tomorrow. They're also going to be too tired to do anything productive on Sunday, and then they're going to go back to work on Monday and hate their lives. By the way, bro, you probably haven't realized just how bad listening to degenerate music is every day. And so that's why I've made a new daily Spotify podcast that you can listen to so you can start your day off with some inspiration, and it's specifically for young guys who want to get onto self-improvement. Go click the top link in the description, load that up, follow the podcast, and then continue watching this video. And then I see him. I see a guy that I grew up with. I see a guy who went to my school. And I ended up braking on my bike and speaking to him. And, it's like nice of being polite of, oh, hey, what are you doing and stuff. And I know that he knows about me. I know that he knows about my YouTube channel. I know that he knows about my work. I know that he knows about the transformation that I've been in. And I couldn't help but to think, as he was speaking to me, of how bad I could tell he felt growing up together, being basically on the same level. And now he is one of these random guys who's going out and having pints of beer instead of actually working on the goals that I know he actually has. After a small conversation with him, I basically just cycle off. And this almost sounds cringe and forced, but I still remember to this day that I went onto Audible, the Audible app on my phone, and played a David Goggins book, his first book, Can't Hurt Me. Some guys might think that that's cringe, oh yeah, you had this fake encounter and then you played David Goggins and then everyone clapped. But this was genuinely the truth. The reason why I still remember why I played the David Goggins audiobook after this moment was because I realized just how important discipline and doing the hard work really was. That I was here on this other side, no longer a degenerate. Because this, again, let me make this clear. I am not some random guy who's me and you aren't invited to the party, and so we're saying oh yeah, I bet the party sucks. I was the guy in the party. I was the drunk. I was the guy falling over. I was the guy vomiting. I was the guy taking the girl back home to sleep with her. I'm telling you from the other side, that life doesn't make people happy. It's just pointless pleasure. That all it does is just mask over the depression that they live in these lives. You can tell how depressed someone is by how many substances they take. You can tell how fulfilled someone is by how sober and clean that they are. So this isn't just me being some self-improvement cringe guy who's judging these people. This is me basically judging my former self and thinking about how sad of a lifestyle this is. And maybe you can relate not so much with the drinking and the drugs, but with something like video games. When you see the people who you used to know who are still addicted to video games at this time, after you've made this progress, it almost makes you feel hateful and sad. Not so much at them, but at your younger self, because you remember being like that. You remember spending years of your life wasting away for something that wasn't even enjoyable. And so it really creates this almost level of what normal fit people think is arrogance and narcissism, but we know is actually the weird version of self-love where you respect yourself so much you refuse to do these unhealthy habits like staying up late, taking drugs, playing video games, and masturbating. The truth is that those like fun things that you sometimes get the desire of, you know, like hanging out with a girl or going partying, what you can do at this age is like the bottom tier, low end version of that fun. For many of the guys who are watching this, the biggest fun that they could have is what? What do you think? Like, what's the most fun an average guy can have? Like watching something on YouTube, playing some video games, eating some random chocolate bar as he watches some random video on YouTube. When you do these like fun things, the reason why I'm putting my fingers like this is because these aren't actually fun. It's just that you've never discovered what real fun is. The reason why we do these fun things is because, why? You just haven't found your purpose yet. Because when you do find your purpose, that's when you automatically begin to outwork basically everyone. You really do. You know if you're a purposeful guy or not by just how different you are to 99% of men. Because you will be ruthless with your work rate. You will want to optimize all of your life to keep making progress in your purpose, in your big mission, your big goal. And so when guys don't have that purpose, when guys are living like with a lack of purpose, a lack of mission, that's when they'll look at you and think that you're weird because you want to work on your goals all day. And some of these guys will actually be the kind of crabs who will pull you down, they'll make fun of you, and they'll basically genuinely try to stop you from working so hard. You probably know a few guys like that who, through their bullying, their like jokes, basically tries to socially like isolate you or to socially make you feel worse when you're trying to be productive and healthy. It's not hard to beat people like that. Honestly, it's not hard to beat like 90% of people when you just do the right things with that drive, that sort of masculine passion, when you realized what it is that you care about. You know, I think a little bit of the toxicity is actually a good thing, especially for your first few years of being on self-improvement. The most progress that I see certain young men make is the ones who actually have quite a lot of that negative emotion inside of them. They were hurt by someone in the past, they went through a painful breakup, they got bullied, they used that as fuel to get themselves into the gym and do massive workouts and to make a lot of progress. And of course, you don't want to always be in this sort of like resentful, hateful mode, but using it productively can actually be a really good thing. And so if you want to, why not go and close your eyes right now and think of the men that you want to outwork? Why not literally think of the specific people who doubted you, who made fun of you, who bullied you? And think to yourself like where you're going to be in a few years from now and where they're going to be. This isn't, as healthy as possible, but this stuff really fucking works. And I wouldn't be here today if I didn't think like this. I'm telling you right now, like those super successful people that you see, whether they try and act like wholesome and warm and humble, they have similar thoughts to this. They just don't speak about it because they know in some ways that will make them look worse. I'll always bring you the truth and tell you, bro, I've thought a lot of thoughts like this during my time of becoming more productive and reaching levels of success, because it creates this drive inside of you. One of the most valuable but somewhat controversial lessons that I could give you as man to man is to understand that life as a man is like PvP. It is this competitive zone. And the brutal reality of this, when you get a girlfriend or you get a wife, other men want to fuck her. You need to understand this. Other men want to fuck your future wife, and they will try to do so today. Your future wife is out there right now, and some other guy who's been working hard, who's got like a nice clean haircut, and he's in shape, and he's got a six-pack, and he's not bloated like you are, he's going to go cold approach her today. What's going to happen? Is that going to be one extra body count in your future wife because you just wanted to take it, you wanted to disagree with my advice and say like 1 hour of video games is fine? We don't talk about this in the modern day, but this is exactly what's happening. And you know why this advice is actually quite popular? Like when I talk about this concept of like other guys approaching your girl, because every guy knows that this shit is actually true. Every guy, whether you've experienced this or not, every guy in his gut knows that this is 100% happening. That the woman that you want right now, like she's somewhere out there. Maybe you haven't even met her. She's living her normal life. She doesn't even know you yet. And other men want her today, and they will try, and maybe they will succeed because you haven't been working hard enough yet. This doesn't mean that you need to be, working to make money 16 hours a day and working over shifts and, being sleep deprived. It's to be productive 100% of the day, but productivity still equals getting good sleep, eating a good diet, social connection, sunlight, playing, those things that are still really healthy for you that will improve your brain. Of course, working on your business or career is a big part of that. But my advice here is not to just blindly try to work 18 hours a day, but rather to be as productive as possible. Quite a lot of young men actually doubt me when I say that I'm relatively 100% productive. Maybe that's a bit far reaching, but probably a solid 80% is my average. I'm productive for about 80% of the minutes of my day. I'm doing something that's useful, that's going towards my goal. Again, this doesn't mean I'm working for 10, 20 hours a day. It means that I'm reading. It means that I'm learning. It means that I'm actually working. I'm recording these videos. I'm speaking to my team. I'm eating healthy food. I'm sleeping. I'm getting ready for sleep. I've got morning routines, nighttime routines. Wasted time just consuming on your phone, just watching random shit that's not even helping you, saying that, oh well, I just want an hour to rest at the end of the hard day. So many young guys like to cope and just playing some video games, then watching some anime. What I've seen is those men, or those boys, sorry, who are really into anime and video games, they don't want to ever hear this message, because their addiction is so strong that for them, anyone who disagrees with playing 5 hours of video games or watching a bunch of anime, they just shut it off and they just think to themselves, yep, he's a bad guy, haha, he doesn't know how to relax and enjoy himself at the end of a hard day. It's bro, your day's not that hard. Don't bullshit yourself and don't bullshit me. You're some anime watcher, his day is not that hard, but he'll tell you no, but 1 hour of watching stuff, some brain-firing content is fine. 1 hour of video games at the end of the hard day is fine. And it's actually 1 hour and 45 minutes, but he won't admit it. He'll tell you it's 1 hour a day or half an hour a day. And then he's wondering why he's not getting promotions in work. Then he's wondering why he's not getting results in business. The success that you want comes from the work that you're refusing to do. It comes from the work that you're coping and pretending that you're getting into, when really all you're doing is thinking about it a lot instead of actually just doing the work. That's why my best piece of advice is still the same one that I say at the end of every single video that I post. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.